Hey guys, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell to be updated every time I make a new video. Thanks, let's begin. The most ungrateful pests of the insect world just got bigger. Mosquito. This is the 1995 low-budget creature feature from director Gary Jones, who also directed Spiders, Crocodile 2 Death Swamp, Axe Giant The Wrath of Paul Bunyan, amongst many others. This is also a Patreon request from Patreon supporter and friend of mine, Michael Cole. The plot! They came from space. A flying saucer crash lands in the middle of a swamp near a state park. Mosquitoes feast upon the dead aliens, and now are supersized, and begin to drink the nearby inhabitants. Whoever is left is gonna need a bigger bug zapper. Even by mid-1990s standards, this is one cheapo flick. Does that mean it's crap? Nope. This film has some serious charm that only grows the more you watch it. The longer it goes on, the more fun you'll have. I'll admit, while I first started watching this, after a long time of not having seen it, I was a bit concerned. I began to wonder what I ever saw in this flick. Sure, it's creative, with some decent rod and puppet and animatronic work, as well as mechanical effects. And it's delightfully disgusting. However, the acting can be quite abysmal, and the so-called special visual effects are laughable at best. But then the characters start to grow on you more, and those hand-drawn crap shots become less frequent and even some quite decent. Hell, there's one shot near the end of the movie where they're all hating on a house, and it doesn't look half bad. It's just when they fly. You know, the thing mosquitoes primarily do. Given that this is an uber low-budget affair, 200 grand low, a lot of ingenuity had to be implemented. Everything from camera tricks to optical effects. Originally titled Blood Fever, which I see on IMDb they have one called Mosquito 2 Blood Fever in the works. Fingers crossed. And then titled Skeeter after that, until a crew member presumably took the idea of a Killer Mosquito movie and brought it to New Line. They eventually settled on the title Mosquito, and the opening scene is literally a 1950s throwback. And then the bodies start to pile up. For the characters, we have Megan, played by Rachel Louisel. She's a scientist on her way to start her new job, a wonderful job as a park ranger. It's confusing, I know. Anyway, she knows a lot about bugs. So that way, when her boyfriend hits one, she can identify certain body parts.
My God, this looks like a proboscis.
A what?
Ray, her boyfriend, played by Tim Lovelace, from Axe Giant The Wrath of Paul Bunyan, which he was the awesome park ranger. He was also in Gary Jones's Escape from Cell Block 13, is a doubtful character, and what I mean by that is he doesn't believe what's happening around him. But he quickly believes that aliens are the issue and they're zapping people.
It's aliens and they're everywhere, and that guy's obviously been zapped.
Well, he's kinda right. Not the zapping part, but aliens are involved. He's the beefy, brawny boyfriend who isn't quite a jerk, but is macho. What are you calling a chicken, bro?
We should get in that little Jeep of yours and get the hell out of here.
We can't just run out of here like a chicken with its head cut off.
Oh, who you calling a chicken?
Parks, played by Steve Dixon, who I always thought was Isaac Hayes. He's not. Is a part of the USAF, and is chasing meteorites that crash into the Earth, but this ain't no meteorite. This ain't no meteorite. Sorry. He's gonna wish that was all that it was. He helps Meg and Ray by giving them a ride to the park, only to find it massacred. Hendrix, the Lone Ranger, played by Ron Ashton from Frostbiter, which I recently reviewed, actually a little while ago, but I reviewed it, is a goofball and is someone who would likely stay at the job they occupy for the rest of their life. He strives to only further his career as a park ranger, as well as survive mutant mosquito massacres.
All right, you little bastards. Let's throw down.
Earl, played by Gunnar Hansen, who was, Leatherface from the original The Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1974, and his brother, Junior, played by Mike Hard, who is currently in a band called Thrall, located in Detroit Rock City, and their cousin Rex, played by Kenny Mugwump. That's gotta be a fake last name. Are three bank robbers who walk in all goofy-like, but then get serious when the bugs start to bite. Gunnar and the Gain are not particularly good actors. Gunnar especially, which is a shame because he seems like a really nice guy from what I've heard, and he was probably only cast in this for the namesake. But to be fair, none of the acting in this movie is fantastic. Some are better than others though, for sure. I mean, Steve Dixon's probably the best actor in the film, but the rest of the film has ambition. I'll give it that. Most of the settings and the sets themselves never leave you hanging, and are well done. For the gore, the effects, they may be limited to sucking blood, but it's where they put the proboscis that counts. Those needle-nosed freaks penetrate ass cheeks, eyeballs, and more. There's one gag that actually kind of freaked me out when I was younger. It's when the guy gets his chest impaled by a proboscis and his blood sucked up, but his eyes pop out of his skull. He looks all freaky, but I'm only here now questioning why his eyes popped out and didn't get sucked into his face. We also get husks for bodies littered about. A massacre, off-screen, but still appreciated. Bug gore is where this movie really shines, though. Skeeters explode and are cut up, and it's glorious.
Man, I haven't handled one of these babies in 20 years. Feels good.
All the animatronic mosquitoes are wonderful, and the way they twitch around is a nice touch. For the motion picture soundtrack, we have some ominous, cheapo violin music, but it works. The bug sound effects are delightfully creepy, and they have this weird screech that helps make it sound otherworldly. The other sound design, like gunshots or smashing debris or objects, are a bit amplified, but I feel it helps add to the charm, in a way. Overall, cheap thrills make for great fun with this flick. Mosquito is one of those rare films where the budget, it doesn't help, but it still shines through. It's a worthy watch. A lot of ingenuity was put into this flick, as well as a good sense of humor about the whole thing. I will say that the acting, some of the dialogue, and a lot of the effects are crude and pretty rough. But I can see that this project shines with passion, more so than not. Just don't expect too much. I mean, I'm not saying that you would, given the title of the film, but still. I am Brian Gatto. Make sure to hit that notification bell to be notified every time I make a new video, and as always, subscribe.